Six, 8 years back, because he slowly started forgetting things and where he kept his things, and he used to lose his temper because by nature he's very quiet and all that. I think so. It must be something must be wrong, no?
It started, in around 96 when we noticed that mother was behaving differently. She used to be a very straight character. We found her waffling, we found her change, and she'd become very, very repetitive.
Kausu.
Kausu na nyanga short form.
So it was difficult for him actually. For me, for everybody in a sense, because we keep remembering father as he was, and then accepting him as he is now is very difficult.
You can count me 25 years.
And how old is Geeta?
25, 65.
You're 65?
My age.
Okay, and how old is Geeta?
Geeta is my youngest daughter.
How old is she?
Geeta is also somewhere about. I have 3 daughters.
How old is Geeta?
Geeta is 35.
35. And how old are you?
I am now I am 33 years.
33? Your daughter is older than you?
She is not older than me.
Dementia is a disease of the brain which affects various brain functions. For example, memory, thinking, comprehension, calculation, language, abstract thinking. These various brain functions will be affected due to the disease process. And as per definition, any acquired impairment in brain functions which is severe enough to impair a person's day-to-day functioning can be diagnosed as demented. And there are so many causes for dementia, and Alzheimer's disease is supposed to be one of the most important causes of dementia.
Alzheimer's disease is a disease of aging. People start forgetting their day-to-day activities, what they have to do immediately, or they have been told to do, or their immediate tasks at hand.
Like what?
You forget you've had your breakfast and you would repeatedly ask for the same, or you forget you've had your bath and you would probably go to the bathroom 5 times to have a bath. So it starts like that. Or you forget ways, you forget familiar ways, like if you're going to a temple, if an old lady is going to a temple, she forgets what is the path to the temple which she was going for so many years.
If, for example, you misplace your keys and you remember after half an hour I misplaced them and can't find them, and find them later on, that's an age-old related problem. It's not Alzheimer. Alzheimer is, in very basic terms, for example, when you forget how you can eat, when you forget how you to go to the bathroom on your own, then the problem is that you got Alzheimer's.
earliest symptom and the most significant symptom is memory loss. And the peculiarity about the memory loss is that they have retained distant memory, while it is recent memory that loses out. It's like a tape recorder that is not recording anymore. What has already been recorded in the past remains.
He just started saying that he wanted to go. He doesn't know where he wants to go. And he's saying, shall we go, shall we go? Then I asked him, where do you want to go? But it becomes such a strain on us, going on saying, I want to go, but where can we take him? Then what he did, he went inside and said, I'll go out that way. Actually, there's nowhere there. Then he came to that steel cupboard and said, he tried to open it. Then I said, it's only a cupboard, so you can't go that way. Then he said, some gold may be there. Actually, I think it was more difficult for my son. Initially what happened was that he was coming home and my servant used to go at 5:30. But how much of a strain it was on him, I realized only after I kept a servant in the evening. He used to be so dejected, and because he will go on saying, Kichu, where is your father? Kichu, where is your mother? Why are they not coming? Like that, he will go on asking questions. And he is also not that old, so he can't understand also. Actually, now he has no connection with us actually. He has no connection in the sense whatever he says is his imagination. It's very difficult accepting as he is now.
Alzheimer's disease, it's a progressive disease. There are various stages. It starts from, initially it will be mild, then it will be moderate, and gradually the functional capacities will be lost, and ultimately the person will be in a bedridden state.
She started out life pretty rough. She lost her parents when she was very young. She went to a Sikh orphanage, Sikh Kanya Mahavidyalaya, Firozpur city. Life was pretty hard there. As a child, they wanted to marry her off early, and she said, nothing doing, I'm going to become a doctor. And she did become a doctor. She used to be the kind of person who would never step back from a challenge. She was very active. Around 96, when we noticed that she was changing in certain ways, previously she would be proactive, now she was kind of withdrawing. That's when we noticed that something was happening, but you attributed it to the fact that, at that time she was about 76 or so, with age things happen. Things came a cropper really in 1999. She just climbed that step and fell and broke her foot. And the next day when the doctor said she had to have 15 days of bed rest, all hell broke loose. She became hysterical, and the hysteria didn't subside. It went on for about 3 or 4 months. And the neurologist came and saw her, and he said, it seems to be dementia of the Alzheimer's kind. At that point in time, there was not much research that had been done about it in India, and he said, there's nothing much you can do but watch her. And then she lost her faculty to swallow in June 2000. She recovered the faculty to swallow, but along with that there came a lot of weakness. We start at 6:30 when I play the cassette. We play the Japji Sahib or the Sukhmani Sahib in the morning. After which at 7:15 she gets a massage, goes to the toilet, has a bath, etc. By 8:15 she's ready. Then she goes to the Gurdwara in the car. After the Gurdwara she comes back home, breakfast goes on till about 11:30, then exercises and a massage, the massage is alternate days. Then at 1:15 she starts her afternoon drink, that goes on till 3:45, 3:15 lunch, 4:45 rest. In the intervals there's always music or a part or some effort to engage her in some kind of activity. Then at 6 it's apple, 7:30 a walk, a buggy ride on a wheelchair, 8 o'clock again part, 9 o'clock dinner, and by 10:30 we are ready for bed. एक बार गाना सुना दो. All things bright and beautiful, all creatures great and small, all things wise and wonderful. इतना अच्छा गाते थे. The Lord God made them all. Very good. She has Jyoti in the morning, the girl who, the nurse who looks after during the day. Then she has 2 night nurses who alternate. Then she has a masseuse. Then she has a physiotherapist. I mean, from 3 individuals, we are now 3 of us and 17 to 18 people. Well, 16 in any given day.
Alzheimer's patients can live as long as 10 or 15 years. That's a long, long time. Now, what is the cost of that? The economic cost of medication, of feeding, of caring, of employing people to care for the patient. The economic loss of having to give up jobs because the requirement of the patient is such that you have to be home. Not even a 5-minute break can be given.
She is a 85 years old lady. Now she is in a very bad condition because she is in advanced condition. She can't move from the place itself. She is sitting in a one chair itself, and the other things like stool passing and urinating, everything within the same chair.
അറിവല്ലേ എനിക്കും ഇങ്ങനെ ഭാരം അമ്മയല്ലേ എന്തോ ബുദ്ധിമുട്ടാ അങ്ങനെയൊന്നുമില്ല അങ്ങനെ ഇരുത്തിയെടുത്തൊന്നും ഒന്ന് പൊക്കാനൊക്കെ ഒരു ബുദ്ധിമുട്ടൊക്കെ ഉണ്ട് പിന്നെ ഞാൻ അങ്ങനെ എന്നെയും കടിച്ചു പിടിച്ചുകൊണ്ടൊന്ന് പേരടകത്ത് ഇരുത്തും അങ്ങനെ നമ്മുടെ കാര്യമൊക്കെ ഒന്ന് നോക്കും അങ്ങനെ എല്ലാം ചെയ്യും പൈസയുടെ കാര്യം മോൻ്റെ മക്കളൊക്കെ ഉണ്ടല്ലോ അതങ്ങൾ തന്നൊക്കെയാണ് ദിവസങ്ങൾ ചായ എന്തെങ്കിലുമൊക്കെ മേടിച്ചു കൊടുക്കലും ഗുളിക മേടിച്ചു കൊടുക്കലും അങ്ങനെയൊക്കെ
In Alzheimer's, what is interesting is that insight is often lost very early. The awareness that you have a problem is insight. That is often lost early. So that for the person with Alzheimer's, more often than not, he is not really aware that he is losing his memory.
In the past six teams, Centurion, and there is Centurion.
Centuries.
Centuries.
In the past.
Centuries. The past
16 centuries.
See, a long light, but it is worth it for people to know. One day they something next day we mistake. then and we be paka over. That's it. That one wages Iridar. He entirely fine. We eat so much we got to you think. Yes, that's the only way to be make us happy.
Happy and gay.
Gay, they know.
He used to walk to the court, High Court. Actually, it is walking distance only. The crisis happened once when he lost his way. He went down walking, some 10, 12 kilometers like that. And he got into one house. For our good luck, for all nice people, asked him, where is your house and all that, he cannot answer. Somehow that fellow brought him here and in his car, and by the time we had even informed the police, then we found that this was too much, so we engaged one fellow from that security to go with him, and every day he used to fight with him because he didn't want anybody accompanying him. Why should this fellow come with me? Once he told the police, this fellow is pickpocketing, he wants to pick my pocket, that's why he's following me, and the police caught him. Who is this?
She's my sister.
Sister? That is me.
This is me. Yes, correct. Little old. Old, you see, not fair. Old. That's why I wanted
this
to
is
be.
Old.
Very bad.
Others are first class.
Who is this?
This is mother. Father, mother.
Mother's name.
Mother's name I'll ask father. Good name.
This one?
Good name.
Good name.
Good name only ask.
Okay.
Don't ask
what
someone.
is her good name?
Good name, apparently good name is there. Then that same is there. There's no change at all.
So
if you want a separate one, you can make one.
You will never admit that I don't know your name and all that, that you know. Or I don't know who you are and all that. And then she said, tell me whose daughter I am. That's why she asked. Tell me whose daughter I am. Then he said, you are your father's daughter.
Beautiful eyes, very fine, very fine. How this?
Wow.
How they make it? You hear only, all coming from outside. Allah, that's it. Small things, think so much.
Well, give it to your wife.
Some nice things make you keep it. Yeah.
No, what he does, he just goes to the backyard. He's actually fond of gardening, but my son used to say, whatever daddy does is actually doing more harm to the plants than good. Because these leafy plants like begonias and all that, he thinks it's around some weeds and he'll try to pull that out and all that. It is like that.
For example, I have this pen here. To identify this to be a pen, the impulse has to go in, it has to be processed, and the right conclusions have to be. But because the processing is wrong, I might think that this is a snake. Or a patient might think that his wife is not faithful to him. It's a fixed idea that you cannot talk him out of. Because for him it is genuine. And that's the most important thing to remember. Whatever you may think, whatever imaginary the situation be, for the patient, his problem is genuine. Caregivers are able to live with the memory loss. They don't mind. They accept it. What they can't live with is behavioral problems. For example, aggression. They get violent at times, they break things at times, they are abusive at times.
See, everybody says, this lady like this. What's wrong with you?
He used to get so wild, and he'll tell me that I want to throw you out of the wall. He used to say that. Whenever I do something which may not be to his liking, he'll say, I want to throw you out of this house. I'll throw you, I'll break your legs, I'll throw you out of the over the wall. And these people also told me, just leave him alone. I mean, agree whatever he says.
You are taking somebody's paper book and taking it there. But he fellow, get out. The fellow for him is taking my book and taking my fellow. Why you are so bad?
And if you want to stop him, then he will attack us. Sometimes he used to get so angry and to want to hit me and all that. So that I only found in the paper, Hindu, one helpline, Alzheimer's. I immediately called that number.
You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me when things are high. Then you say.
So first day it was like that. Then second day he went all by himself. And like that it has been going on almost 1 year, I think. But still he wants to say, this is not my office. My office is not this. I want to go to court. But then we'll tell him, oh, okay, these people will drop you. We'll just tell them to drop you at the court, and they will drop you there. Somehow we'll get into the bus. I mean, this van, and then he'll go off. But coming back, he's always smiling and all that.
The first daycare center in India was started in Cochin. It was way back in 1996. Initially, when we started this facility, there were no takers. People didn't want to send their old father or mother to a daycare center, because we are not used to sending our parents to a daycare center. We are used to sending a disabled child or a mentally handicapped child to a special school or a daycare facility, but not your parents. We had to educate the public, and it took quite some time for people to accept that it is good for the family and for the person with dementia that he attends during the day, that he attends a specialized place where he will be looked after by trained nurses.
Yesterday he was very restless, and today morning by 3 o'clock or so he woke up and he was wandering about. But after that I said he can go to office. He got ready and went. But actually this daycare center is such a boon.
But I mean,
when he likes going also. What happens if he stays here? He feels that all of us are going to office and he's staying here. So he doesn't like staying here.
They are looked after in the daycare center throughout the day. They are given refreshment. They are put through various activities, reminiscence exercise, aromatherapy, physical exercises, and their medical problems are also looked after by our own doctors.
we detect it early, then if you start the treatment early, then you can stabilize the patient. He does not become dependent. He can still carry out his activities. That is why an early diagnosis is very, very important. The incidence of Alzheimer's disease, that is, the chance of it occurring in an elderly, increases by every 5 years of his age. That is, at 65, if the incidence is say about 1 to 3%, at 70 it would be 6%. Out of 100 people who are above 80, about 50% of them would have Alzheimer's disease. I don't think there are enough daycare centers to cater to the patients the number of patients we have. Seeing this, we have to train the caregivers on to day-to-day management of the patients, because the main management of the patients is done by the caregiver. We do give them certain tips. For example, if the person has to have a bath and is not willing to have a bath, we ask the caregiver to talk to the patient in a way of, it's very hot, let us go and cool ourselves. Not that go and have a bath. If you instruct the patient go and have a bath, he's going to be agitated, he's not going to carry it out. The other thing we tell them to do is, if you're bathing the patient, you shouldn't bathe the patient from the front, because often the patient takes it as to say you're attacking the patient. The water should always be poured from the back.
People will not want to talk about these things also, because it brings shame to their families. And for instance, a woman who's incontinent, I mean, it's a matter of shame to her that she is incontinent. And she resents anybody, a caregiver, telling her about it. And suddenly, if someone says, "What have you done?" it is like shame to her. And she's so dignified. How could anyone say something like that? For ladies, mostly it's the sanitary napkin that are provided now. They're easily available. And for men, I think they have a special urine bag, a catheter type.
Sometimes they forget they've had their food and they repeatedly ask for food. So we advise them that they can be given the same meal, they can be given in small fractions of say every half an hour, or whenever the patient asks for the food. The same amount can be given in say half an hour intervals or 15 minutes interval, as and when the patient wants to have it. So sometimes they will be wandering about and people try to stop them, which is not the right way, because again they get agitated. So the best way is to make false doors with curtains, because it cannot open, so the patient is again safe. Apart from that, we advise them to have identity bracelets on the patients, because many times patients wander out of the house and they may get lost. So we advise them to have bracelets on which their name, their address and telephone number is written.
Hallucination is a very serious problem, and you have to make up stories. Again, it's not like telling lies. On the other hand, you have to manage the patient by giving them a story or something that will be acceptable, something that will calm them down. It's all a trial and error, really. Somebody who knows the patient very well is usually able to come up with the answer. But figures tell us that because of the age group between 60 to 65, the rate of growth of the elderly population is about 5 to 8% higher than the normal population growth. And within a few years, about 10 years I think, it should go up to about 12%. According to a United Nations estimate, every third person by the year 2030 will be over 60, which means that they're all candidates for this disease or memory loss. And the population in India, which is 105 crores now, 1/6 of the world population, I think there is much more likelihood of the disease setting in for larger number of people, which is going to be surpassing any other disease like cancer and AIDS.